Hi there, welcome to my channel on this beautiful corner of the internet. This is our collective checkpoint in between the two eclipses. The solar eclipse was on October 14th, and you may still be feeling the deep release energies that may have been facilitating through, along with faded new beginnings or openings beginning for you as well. This lunar eclipse is bringing energies that are supportive for a final shedding process, to have a culmination of our heart's desires, our intentions, in a way that is soul aligned to our destiny and our life purpose. And this will also begin to materialize and take shape within our physical world realities. I have my notes here of the messages that I am being guided to share at this time from the beings of light, and I invite you as well to be open within the space with your intuition, your spirit team, and your heart to receive the messages that are meant for you at this time in your journey. I will also be open in the space as well to receive more messaging upon what I have received prior. So let's get right into sharing. This lunar eclipse is a full moon in Taurus, and we will be in Scorpio season, so the sun will be in Scorpio at this time. Now also, the moon will be in alignment with the collective north node, which is in the sign of Aries. The north node is a destined point of fate that brings energies of support for our destiny, where our soul is headed in this lifetime, what we are guided and most aligned to fulfill on a soul level. The collective north node in Aries is an invitation to look at leadership and our version of self-leadership. But what I am being guided to share with this is I just keep hearing about being first at something, and not in regards to anybody else. It's actually more about yourself. Where are you being invited at this time to be first at something in your own life in comparison to your own soul's journey? Where is this leading you to something that feels like a first-time venture, a first-time leap of faith? Maybe this is also something that you're trying out for the first time that has relation to your karmic past life resonances or stories from past lives or past versions of yourself from this lifetime that maybe were never fully in belief that you could move in these directions or facilitate these types of changes. Now, the combination of the sun being in Scorpio and the moon being in Taurus, what I am energetically sensing with this is allowing ourselves to move into deeper intensities, to merge in union with ourselves, with the divine and our spiritual practices, and also be able to earth that into our physical world reality. And with the sign of Taurus being more of a ruler, symbolic of the material world of earth and our values, we are learning to marry these two energetic frequencies with this eclipse. It's allowing the evolution of also our spiritual values, our soul values, what aligns as well with our soul purpose and who we become, being able to materialize them. This will be a partial lunar eclipse, and when there is a lunar eclipse, the earth is positioned in between the sun and the moon. And so the earth is casting a shadow upon the surface of the moon. What I'm being guided to intuitively share about this is to think about how the earth is representative of our earthly realm reality and what holds our spirit here, the container for our spirit into physical bodies. And the moon is symbolic of our emotional states, our intuition, our subconscious mind, our hopes and dreams. And it's a meeting of material world shadow and our subconscious. And the sun being in Scorpio, Scorpio has a tendency to cling to things that have very deep meaning past the time that maybe they are meant to, due to sentiment and due to the depths in which they can sense intensities in everything in their life. It's an invitation to look at, where have I been intensely holding on to something that just needs this final shedding, so that I can have the full completion, the full illumination of my subconscious desires, intentions, hopes, and dreams to materialize into this earthly plane without self-bondage, without attachments that negatively hold me to spaces and past energies that no longer serve my spirit. So the first energetic theme that I was receiving is about the subconscious materializing and realizing itself. So how I was being shown this is, if your subconscious mind has held certain energies, thoughts, patterns, and beliefs, and you have been ruminating intensely, allowing those energies to grow those intentions, whether you would base them in your definition as negative or positive, the spiritual world views things as neutrality and things just are as they are. So those intentions are going to start to become realized and materialized into the physical world reality. And this is an invitation to also check back on ourselves and our own subconscious mind to explore perhaps where we may need to release more aspects of shadow within our mind, our thoughts, and our beliefs, so that we no longer need to align to specific events, people, or circumstances in our life that align to old frequencies of belief that we don't align to. And also an invitation to step back and celebrate where we start to see new positive manifestations and materializations arriving in our lives due to where we have been choosing to place our energetic thoughts, intentions, and what themes and beliefs are stirring within our subconscious minds. I'm going to share with you the written message that I received. Take this time to observe the material realms, whether you humanly view them through the lens of positive or negative. Invite yourself to look deeper into your subconscious mind and see where you may find the mirror within you that has possibly co-created or materialized your subconscious hopes and dreams, and your personal versions of karmic undoing. The invitation is to allow this time to be a mirror to your subconscious mind. Explore what has been exposed to you as something you further need to transmute, or to something to celebrate as a reflection of what you have transmuted prior. The invitation here is to take on the role of observer and allow yourself to take inventory in your subconscious mind to find the perceptual mirror in which you can reroute what energies are materializing into your physical world plane. So this doesn't have to be something to fear as much as it's more a conscious awareness to observe and to make changes as we see fit. Another theme that I received is that many of us may begin to find that we are being guided to reconsider our self-value at this time, to reassess how we view ourselves and our value, and recreate a new value system of belief as an energetic code in which we stand by for ourselves, to take care of our spirit, to take care of our heart and our body and our mind. With many of us moving through deep spiritual upgrades, this may feel like a collective checkpoint in which you may be guided to take a step back and think about how you have been facilitating yourself in your life in regards to your value, how you see yourself now. Perhaps you feel that through your spiritual awareness and expansion, your evolution, that maybe you're not living in a way that feels supportive of your value. And maybe your value has increased because of your own awareness of yourself and your spirit and who you really are inside. Maybe you were lacking in self-value before, and you're finding yourself moving more in this direction to accept yourself for who you are, and therefore increasing your self-value and how you see yourself and how you would like to represent yourself in the world and have other people relate to you in certain energies and frequencies by. You may be considering your wants and needs that will help you on a human level to also stabilize more of your truth, the core of your spirit, the core of your heart. This can also look like a shedding of maybe what we used to value and reinstalling things that we value now. There may be a turnover rate of things that we used to value. This might start to come up for us through interactions with other people. Perhaps we start to see within certain interactions that those energetic exchanges we don't value so much anymore because we have upped our self-value. Our self-value has changed. This is a great energetic checkpoint if you are feeling in these ways to create this energetic space for yourself to step back and ask yourself, do my physical world or energetic boundaries for who I am as my human self, do they support who I am on a spiritual soul level or of my higher self? I personally am going to take this energetic advice and do this same introspection myself. The next theme that I received came through as dipping our feet into something new. So it felt important as well, the emphasis of feet for this message, representative of fully anchoring our feet into a new beginning, into the earth, into the material realm of the intentions, the thoughts, the desires, dreams that we may have been manifesting or setting intention for. Things that have been ideas for a while, creative ideas, new plans, things that we have had our hearts set on as dreams to carry out one day. There is this energy that they can no longer be held here. They can no longer be held in just the mental space anymore, or the emotional space, or our spiritual astral realm connections of manifestation. There is a big release opening that they have to materialize, because our wavelength of energies and frequencies that have been feeding into these specific thoughts and ideas have taken on shape. They are materializing, and therefore they have no room but to start to come through to the physical world reality. So what this could look like is synchronistic alignments in your life that come through that almost kind of facilitate the intentions or thoughts or dreams that you have been ruminating on. They will almost feel like a catalyst start to the things that you have been sitting on, to the things that you've been ruminating on, because also these very things are in support of your highest purpose, your destiny, and why you were here on a soul level. And with the energies of the North Node, it's a very strong time for catalysts that are specifically in alignment for those very reasons. This can also link in as well with sensing heightened intuition at this time, because the veil is also going to be a lot thinner between realms at this time, including our own subconscious, our spirit team, and our intuitive connections to perceive information that is not of this physical plane. And we also may find that some of the intuitive messages that we have received prior, especially around the solar eclipse, we may be receiving what I am being told is a psychic glue for the spaces in between, the energetic gaps of intuitive messages or information or feelings that we've been picking up on, that will help us to complete the full puzzle picture of where certain pieces are aligning or where we are exactly being led to. Especially for those of us who have made extra space with release processes from the solar eclipse, there will be a larger space opening for these new answers and intuitive downloads to move through with a bit more ease. You can also set energetic intentions before sleep to help facilitate an opening to receive intuitive messages that you may need to have information received on at this time. And I always invite you to set the intention that only the information that you are meant to hear or receive move through for you at this time. Also, don't force the alignment of any psychic glue to move through for you at this time if it is not the right timing. So we may be receiving intuitive downloads or nudges that also facilitate us into the subconscious intentions of our hopes and dreams as well. We may be receiving guidance, messages, and signs to really start to facilitate these new beginnings that we are meant to take more actions on or steps towards to branch into our physical world reality as well. The next theme that I received is about visibility and transparency. So we may begin to start to see people in our lives as a bit more transparent. Things may begin to feel more revealed to us or more visible to us in regards to certain people in our life or their place in our lives. And this isn't channeling through as something to deem in a negative context of that statement. Although, yes, it can be more in that form. Perhaps you may see someone's true colors in ways that you notice isn't actually fully in alignment to where you are headed or where you see your values or your self-value. And granting yourself that space to take that moment to allow the full visibility of that person to be shown to you. But also, we may also see this branch out in a really beautiful way where we are seeing people more transparent for who they are, but in a really beautiful manner. Maybe we start to see people in our lives through a new lens because we start to see more of their depths open up to us. There is also this energy of not just transparency and visibility, but people being more open, being more transparent about who they are in authenticity or in growth. It's also an invitation for ourselves and owning our transparency and owning how we may be guided to show up more visibly or more transparent to other people. And I do feel like there's this energy of this being necessary for a lot of us on our path in order to move forward, to move into more visibility, to move into more transparency, not just for other people, but for ourselves, for our spirit, our soul, because it no longer feels good to not fully be visible or to shine our full authenticity or truth in ways that correlates with our spirit or our soul self. An energetic theme that I also was sensing very much so in the collective is more of this kind of vulnerable energy moving through. It felt like on one hand it could come through as needing to feel more protective or more defensive, or maybe to go more inward, like I just keep feeling like this, to hug yourself, to enclose yourself, to bring yourself back home. And the other energy I was picking up on is actually more of this vulnerable energy to expose our truth, to expose our hearts to other people, and allowing this to create a shared sense of intimacy. This can also feel like a need to be safe in which we share intimacy with others Intimacy is not just romantic connections, it's platonic connections, it's our familial connections, every single connection that we have with people. The energetic invitation at this time, if you are sensing these energies, is to honor which end of the coin you are feeling more geared towards, and asking yourself if you need to bring more energetic balance to it. If you feel like you are feeling more protective or armored in defense, where can you allow yourself to melt more or surrender more into trusting vulnerability and exposure of yourself with other people in more intimate ways? And if you are someone who feels like you are really moving more into exposure of being vulnerable and sharing your truth, sharing your heart, the invitation is for you to honor the amount of courage it has taken to expose more of your truth and to be vulnerable, because that takes really great strength and courage to do. And also ask yourself, do you maybe need to step back and restore the balance back to self a little bit and carrying back to your own self home? The message that came through about this was that the greatest value in this world is to share one spirit with another. And this really hit home for me because I know that I'm on here sharing, but I myself have struggled very much with shared intimacy and allowing people to know me. And so this is a form of shared intimacy with those online, to share and to show up and create this space here. And I thank you if you are someone who is here sharing this shared space with me. So those were all of the messages that I was guided to share at this time. If you have found these messages helpful for you, it'd be an honor if you left a like on this video as a ways to let me know. And if you feel aligned to subscribe, I would love to have you back here again. Also, please let me know in the comments how any of these messages have resonated with you, if you feel open to sharing, and how are you doing with this eclipse season so far. I love to hear from everyone down below in the comments and connect with you. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.